talk about something very vulnerable. Then again, I haven't stopped talking about vulnerability, huh? About how hard it is to let go of something that you love. By the way, there's dogs. My neighbors have dogs and they like to be around, so you might hear them bark. I am also going to be looking at some notes, so if you look at me staring down, that's what it is. So just so you know a little more about me, when I was little, my mom sent me to a camp for special needs kids. And I loved being there. It was for my kidney failure. Over the years, I really wanted to be there more and more, giving what they once gave me, which was hope. And being around people that completely understand exactly what you're going through and the pain, but at the same time, it became a positive environment because you met so many wonderful people. To this day, I still talk to them. They're some of my best friends, and when I'm down, they actually come to my savior, especially when it comes to my health conditions. So I've met such beautiful people out there. Like I said, I started going, I believe it was around 10 or around 9, 10 or 11. I don't remember. And I just felt completely in love with it, that I wanted to become a camp counselor. So I became one. Back in 2014, there's like a graduation that, yeah, how you go from a camper to a counselor, if you want to come back. And 2014, that's when I started becoming a camp counselor. So I will be there out the summers and during the fall or spring. Now, so I only go to one camp, and that camp is my camp, the one that I grew up in, and it was for kidney failure. And I make space for that specific week, no matter what, throughout my life, so I can give back to what they once gave me: hope, peace, understanding, and friendship. Self-love, most important. That plane is still going. All right, I think it's gone. Self-love, most important. Throughout my years, especially now becoming an older person, little by little, I start letting go of camps that I love because, well, you have to become an adult. And in my jobs that I had, I would specifically dedicate my time to 1 week. Planes are just deciding to go left and right now. Anyways, I would save that week for my camp, the camp that helped me as a little girl, so I can come back as an adult and give back. Now, not too long ago, I had a dream. And in that dream, I was at the camp and we were getting ready for the kids, and I was very excited. And days, like a day or two passed, and next thing you know, there was this one little girl there that was, I believe she was drawing or something like that. And I started to draw with her. Next thing you know, she kind of got not attached, but she kind of cared for me. And this is kind of usually what happens at the camp. I'm very, if I see a kid alone, I go and I interact with them just so they don't feel alone. Specifically, if they don't like doing certain activities, I go that way, you know. Something just landed on my coffee. Not cool. I'm putting this down so I could help them out. It could be coloring, it could be playing with toys or whatever. I just didn't want them to feel that lonesome. And that's the kind of person that I've kind of always been. Anyways, I saw this little girl, I went over and played with her. And like I said, happens a lot. Then the kids kind of get really excited to see you if they do something, or sometimes they give you bracelets. Oh my god, there's photos where hopefully I can find some, but there's like, I have a whole bunch of bracelets on because that's a big thing at the camp and everything. Anyway, so I went with her, and then there was a moment, and I'm very excited, you know, I feel this excitement for the camp and being there. And like a day or two passed, and the excitement started going away. I started asking myself, like, why am I here? Which is kind of heartbreaking. we were in some kind of place. By the way, the camp I'm describing is nothing like the specific place. It's not like this, but we were in a place. It was kind of like a beach, but it was connected to a pool. Like you would go under and it would connect to a pool. It was really interesting how I dreamt it. And we would wait for the waves, and they would come really big, or they would come like medium size, and you wait for them so they can pull you up. Like I said, it's a dream. It's I don't think you can do this. Like, I guess kind of like a surfer, kind of like that, but just within your body. I don't know how to describe it. So you could see the excitement of the kids, like, hey, it's my turn, hey, it's my turn, you know, to go on like the wave. So the wave would come, and you would get ready so you can jump on the wave, and it would take you up. Kind of like in the beach, where you feel the excitement or the adrenaline when the wave comes. Why is there so many planes?
Wait. What?
I can't even drink my coffee because it's the bug in it. Well, anyways, people were going then, and it was my turn, and the kids were really excited that it was my turn. So I go, and in the moment where I'm going in the wave, I said, I do not want to be here. I don't want to do this. So I started to act that I was very excited. And then we went another round, and next thing you know, I'm kind of holding like some pedal boards, but they were made out of metal, and they were very heavy. I don't know why. This is just, like I said, my dream. And next thing you know, the other round came, and I had to go again, and I'm like, I really don't want to do this. And I was trying to find a place to put the pedal boards, but I couldn't find a place. So I'm like, I guess I'm going in with the pedal boards. They're made out of metal, and they were very heavy. So I go, and next thing you know, I land, but it keeps going. I went all the way down into the bottom of the beach, and it was very high up. It was like a good 10 feet up. So I landed on the ground of the beach, and I look up, and I'm like, oh, that's very high, and I'm holding my breath, right? After that, I started to try to swim up, but the boards kept holding me down. And I remember I tried like 2 times, and I'm like, I'm losing my breath. I cannot do this. Another plane. What is going on? Oh, we got a nest for some wasp. It just reminded me how we used to go try to take them down. I would be the one that would kill the wasp. All right, so after that, like, I'm trying to swim up, but I can't, and I'm like, well, I'm losing my breath. I gotta let go of the boards. So I let go of the boards, and I finally made it up. And when I get up there, the group of people that I was with, my campers and my counselors, were gone. And I go like, well, I had caught my breath already, so I start swimming, and I'm swimming underwater. And then I go up, and then next thing you know, I'm in like a pool. That's why I said it was kind of connected to a pool. And there's like some big diving boards like professionals would go in, and people, like the guys, would start diving in. And I was like, oh, that's really cool. And then I asked one of them, do you happen to know where I'm at? And he's like, oh, this is a professional diving pool. And then I asked, how did I land here? And he's like, oh, it's connected to the beach, so the divers can go dive. Pretty cool. And like the surfers. So I'm like, okay, that's really interesting. And then I said, have you seen a group of campers, or like a camp? Right? And they said, I don't know, but I know over there, which was like a playground. Another plane. We're gonna start counting the planes. He said, I don't know, but in the playground over there, there's sometimes some kids that go there. And I remember that in the morning we had gone to that playground to let the kids play. And in reality, how the camp that I went to, it's not in a beach, it's not connected to anything. It has a pool, it has a lake to go boating, it has the lake to fish. And it doesn't have a playground. It has like a basketball court, and then you do other games like the kickball field, 9 square gaga ball. Like, that's what it has. It doesn't actually have a playground, specifically because it's a camp for special needs kids. Anyways, after that, in the dream, when he said that there was a camp over there, and I realized that they had left me, it hurt my feelings because I said they left me, and I was trying my hardest to hold to those metal boards, and I had to let go of them to save myself, and they didn't even try to save myself. So that really, really hurt me. And the fact that they just left. After that, I woke up. They say in your dreams that every person that you see, it's a version of yourself. So I find that really interesting, and I wonder if that little girl that I saw playing alone was me as a little girl, and the counselors and the campers that were around, like a different version of myself as through the years, and the divers, like great communicators, because at camp I was a pretty good communicator as well. If it was needed, I would come in to help. I would be one of the head counselors. So I guess I kind of relate that to that in a way. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. And now, honestly, sometimes I go back and think about years like that. One of my best years was 2015, 2016, 2014 as well. I grew a lot in those days. And sometimes I think back to it and I'm like, I used to do all that. And I don't know if it's because of the situation that's happening right now. I thought that was a wasp. If I like the situation that's happening to me right now, and I'm becoming a different person that I just don't understand, or I don't believe that I once did that, and I was that cool person that they would come to and get help from, and essentially like a leader. These past years, I've been in the director side now of the camp. It's hard work trying to lead it. The communication you have to have, and what are the persons that you have to be where people come to you and you try to fix the situation. You don't really get to interact with the kids as much anymore. So you miss that part that you had little kids running up to you and being so excited. Don't get me wrong, they would still come to me, but it was more of the kids that knew me, and I was their counselor once upon a time, and they were growing up. And then here and there's kids that I would just see and I would come play with, you know what I mean? Things like that. I can't put any photos of the kids or anything like that. It's against HIPAA law, but maybe I can find photos of me alone. Sorry, I read a lot of things down because I tend to forget things, and I write them down in the moment because that's when like they click. I don't know how social media people do it, but most of the time I get ideas out of the blue when I see something and it triggers something on me, and that's when I do videos or stuff like that. I wrote here, after that I woke up. I believe the dream was me realizing that I had outgrown the camp. I feel hurt from them, but also as I left the boards, I felt like it was such a relief, like I could breathe. And the funny thing is that I was underwater and I came up to save myself. At the moment, right now, I don't think I feel comfortable with the camp or myself. And I'm wondering if like letting go of the boards was me, my inner self telling me I have to let go because I need to take care of myself right now. Essentially letting go of things that don't help me be me, making that new version of me that I am becoming. This hurts to say, but the fact that I have to let go, and that's okay. I've always promised myself that I wanted to give back to those kids that needed help like I once did, but it seems like I've grown it. And as much as it hurts me to say, but I will no longer be attending that camp 10 years later after starting to be a camp counselor. 10 years? 11 years, because I started in 2014. And it hurts that I will not be attending this year. And it was a really hard decision to make. And also just the fact that I cannot give what I can't give myself. I can't give myself right now the self-love that I need. I'm currently looking for it inside, especially with everything that's going on with my health. And especially with my health, I will not be able to be physically active. And because you walk like a good 25,000 steps a day over there. I won't be able to be physically active. My mind is so cluttered with so many things. Back then I used to be able to create so amazing things, and I'm very artsy craftsy due to my health. But I would be able to create so many amazing things. And even one of the other directors that was there, she was asking me, "Is like, hey, do you have any ideas?" And I gave out ideas, but at the time I hadn't decided if I was going or not. This is probably like a month ago. And that's what I said when I look back, and I'm like, I created that. I don't believe that I created that because I no longer believe in myself. I'm gonna get there. I know I will get there. I'm getting there slowly, but I don't know how to give myself self-love. I don't know how to give myself patience. I don't know how to give myself relaxation. And my mind is always on the go, 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 go because of the amount of stress it has had. I don't know how to give myself compassion. And I don't know how to give myself strength at the moment. I'm going day by day. And back then I would come in with a kid and just play, and I would simply look at them and see what they liked. It could be like, hey, they have a Spider-Man shirt. You like Spider-Man? Let's talk about Spider-Man. And I would be like, let's make a web, things like that. And I'm coming back. It's coming back slowly, but it takes me a minute. And back then it would be like that. So I can't give the love that I don't have for myself, the self-compassion, the hope. I have a lot of anger inside of me. Anger is sadness at the end of the day. So I have a lot of sadness with me right now, and it's just, I feel like I would be making things, I'm not gonna help, if that makes sense. I have to remove myself. If one year I decide to come back, hopefully I can give them that side of myself again, a better version of that side. Well, and most importantly, for those kids that especially needed it, like I once did. I know pain. There's some kids that are, thankfully, they were wonderful. They had a wonderful system, and we didn't know anything about health conditions or anything like that, and it was really hard for us. So it was a little easier for them, but especially for me, coming as a Hispanic and coming in with people that understood better the health conditions. I was really scared as a little girl. Like I said, I was little. And there's this wonderful guy that at the time he was just a staff member, but he's now a director, and I look up to him so much because he had the patience for me. And other friends that I grew up with, where they had the patience for me to hear me and feel my pain, and we all got to connect. I don't know how to connect anymore, so I can't give that. That's the thing. So it's really hard for me to accept the fact that it's time to let go, and not put so much pressure on myself that my mind would, for a long time, it would be like yes or no, and I'm now understanding that there could be a middle ground. There's always a middle ground for everything. You just have to be open to the fact of thinking outside of the box, like they say. We put limits within ourselves, and I'm learning to break those limits. And I need to learn that before I go back, or if I decide to go back. I just hope they're gonna make it without me, I know that. But I just hope that those kids that mean so much to me, and those people that I love, that I grew up with, helping out as counselors, the directors, they give what those kids need. I know they're gonna give what those kids need. And a part of me feels like I have to apologize for that, the fact that I couldn't give it this year, or I don't know if I'm ever gonna be able to give it again. I know they're gonna make it into a magical place, and I just need to let myself bloom again, so I can give back again the love that I needed once upon a time. And I don't know if it'll be the same way, it'll be a different way. But I'll give it back again. Especially to those kids that are not understanding what's happening, and it's really hard. And I'm learning to give it to adults now. We're blooming. I'm gonna throw this away because it has that bug in there, but this is why I love that mug. I think this is one of my favorite words this year. We're learning how to bloom. All right, I'll see you guys later.
This place is coming alive. Coming alive. I'm coming home tonight. I know you're ready.
I think we're getting old, sweetie.
So no one told you life was gonna be this way. You love life to your way. No jumping, there's an empty to it.
Tonight, meet me at the camp where my friends come on into the morning camp. Rain off, this place is coming up.